Hey everybody, welcome to Ellis Mowers. We're busy outside. Fiance sanded down a table over there on the gazebo. I have a Troy Bilt 5550 watt generator here in the driveway. I need to figure out why it is not starting. This was free. It was given to me by somebody. It is a can't find the model year per se, but I do know that it is at least a 2006 according to this. There's the engine family sticker, 3BS, let's see, 3422HT. It's all right there. It does say it conforms to 2006 California emission standards, which means that it's at least a 2006 or newer. I've been troubleshooting it a little bit right here, and I have a no spark situation. I don't know if it is a bad coil. I don't know if it is a I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an oil level sensor or something along those lines. So what I'm going to do is, I've already tried another spark plug. The one that was in it was brand new. I already tried to figure that out, and it did not work. So what I'm going to do now is take off the basically disconnect the coil wire from the coil to see if it'll crank and start, and that'll tell me it's either a switch issue or an oil level sensor issue. I did disconnect the oil level switch from the sensor, which is down up in here, and I did not see any change. I am going to pop the plug in and see if I can get it to start, but I do not see any spark, and even when I'm pulling it with my fingers right here, I'm not getting any shock like the old-fashioned way. I don't recommend doing that. So I have a feeling that let's see, I do have the fuel on. There is some fuel in it. I do have a feeling that either the coil is bad. What I'm seeing on here is that it looks like this is very, very tight. And it almost looks like it's pinched up against the engine shroud, between the carburetor plate and the engine shroud. So I do want to take the engine shroud off as well to see if that is my issue with a coil that's shorting out or something along those lines, and maybe I can repair it that way. So the way that we're going to approach this, I don't have open access on this side, unfortunately, with the way that this frame is on this generator. So I'm going to take these two bolts off right here. They are 5/16, I believe. Yep. I'll get me a little bolt bucket or something along those lines. Pop these in. We're just going to look at the coil real quick and see. I have a feeling something's pinched right there and it's causing something to short. So I do know that I think this was worked on before I got it. I'm not 100% sure. It will need a pull rope as well. That's a very easy fix. The switches and stuff seem to be in good shape. I doubt that it's an oil level sensor, considering how new this generator is, and I disconnected it. So I don't know, like I said, if that actually bypasses the sensor and makes it run all the time without the oil level sensor on it, or if that actually grounds it out. But when we get this off, we'll approach the shroud here next. Well, I have a little bit of a change of plans here. Move that stool out of the way. I'm going to attempt to get the shroud off without having to take off the carburetor or anything like that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to successfully do so, but I have 1, 2, and where's 3 at? 3 is right there. Those are your 3 bolts to take off this whole shroud. I'm going to try and wiggle it out of there without having to take the carb off. If I have to take the carb off, we'll go ahead and do that, because I gotta get into it somehow, you know. I think I am going to go ahead and take off the little air filter housing. I do have all of this hardware to put back on. It just was off when I got it. Let me get my 7/16. And a small extension. Yeah, somebody's been in this, because that was loose. I knew that it had been attempted, oops, excuse me, attempted to be worked on. I didn't know how much it was attempted. That's all. I'm gonna knock y'all down here before long. See if this helps. I can drop it. There we go. Man, this thing is in stellar condition for what it is. Coil is. This, honestly, this generator isn't like it's been run hardly at all. Take a look at the coil here, make sure the wire is not pinched or anything. There is a little pinch right there, but it's not enough to make a difference, I don't think. What I am going to do is disconnect the kill wire. So, I've got that disconnected. If I can get this moved out of the way, that's fine. What I would like to do is put the plug back on it. Just put the shroud on it, see if I can pull it, see if I get any spark. If I don't get any spark from this, then I know that the coil is bad, as long as I have a good spark plug. So, let me get the shroud back on it, and I will we'll test out this coil to see if it works, or continue to troubleshoot it at least. Alright guys, I don't know how well I can show this to you, but I am getting spark on the plug now where I wasn't before. I can see it on my end. I don't know what that crazy grinding noise is. I'm a little fearful to do this, however, I do want to see it run. I just have to choke it off, I guess, if I even am able to. It is full of oil, by the way. I did check that first, just to make sure that the the low oil level sensor was not grounding it out. So again, it wasn't running at all. I have a feeling it will start and run after I do this. Again, this is not my favorite way of testing things, to make sure that they run. However, I'm going to get it out here in the sunlight. That way if the thing takes off, I can at least attempt to pull the plug wire or something along those lines. So, choke. Let's choke it. Hope I don't break anything here. And you'll shut off. Means I need to have it turned to the left to crank it. It wouldn't surprise me if it started right up. Some sort of shroud. It's not the engine. I hope not, at least. That's nice. It didn't have a lot of gas in it. That's why it's not running any longer than it did. Well, that tells me one thing. It tells me I've got either a bad oil level sensor or a bad switch. One of the two. So, next order of business. And it did clear up whatever that shroud mess is. I think it's... I don't know what it's doing exactly. That shroud quieted up after we cranked it up too, so I don't quite know what's next. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull off I don't know if I need to take the entire shroud back off until I put the coil wire back on, but there are 4 bolts actually for this little plastic housing that I need to get off to check the wires on it. These 2 are right here that I showed you earlier. I got 2 more in the back here. I think I had a lot of oil in the muffler too. There are 2 right back there, the shiny brass looking ones. So let's continue with that. It's either I got a bad switch or a bad sensor, one of the 2, and I don't know which one. I might have to do a little research to see how to test out one of them low oil sensors. So let me take those bolts off and I'll get right back to you. Alrighty, y'all, next order of business on this. In order for me to get access to that little panel, I need to take off the gas tank, which really isn't. It's basically not, hardly any effort on these. It's just like, you know, one more thing you gotta do. So I'm pinching off the fuel line. We're gonna pull this fuel line off of the carb. Easy enough. It's gonna leak a little bit, it's okay. Now, get 3/8, I guess. Get my impact down here so I can do this quicker. Yeah, it's a 10 mil, I guess. $10 mil. Yeah. Impact's in the house. I don't want to go get it just for small things like this. Little bushing. Make sure you don't lose your bushing so that the gas tank doesn't crack on you. I'm going to take the other 3 out and I'll rejoin you and we'll figure out this wiring deal. All right, let's get the tank off. Something else is going on here. Aha. There we go. I was afraid I was going to have to take the handle off of it too, but this gives me a whole lot better access to what I need to look at. So, a whole lot better. So, like I said, I already took off the 4 bolts. We have taken this off now. I have a module that has the low oil sensor on it. Hopefully y'all are seeing as much as I can show you. I think I gotta go around. So here's the module with the low oil level sensor on it. Something is not computing here, or not equating, or not doing something that it is supposed to be doing, and I need to figure it out. So let's see if I can fish the coil wire out of here. No, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shroud back off because I gotta put the coil wire back on it. But I've got to figure out why I am getting no power to the coil. And it can't be that difficult. It could be this little module is bad, and I can just straight wire up the oil level sensor and be good, or just bypass it. Not quite sure. I might see if I know how to test this oil level sensor here too. I'm gonna do a little research and do a little testing too, and we'll figure it out. But let me do a little research and then I'll get back to you to see what I have found. Alright, let me show you, I guess, all the troubleshooting I've done so far. I don't know how well I'm going to show you or be able to show you with the multimeter and all that, but just take a look. So I've got the cover off. I was able to fish the coil wire out from under the shroud. I will have to put the shroud, or obviously take the shroud and everything back off before I do that. So I'm thinking that this module is bad still, because I keep troubleshooting here, and I would think that there would be, I got it on the ohms here. I figured that there would be no ohms, or there would be no resistance, which means 0 ohms, in between this gray wire right here, which connects to the low oil level sensor, and honestly any ground on the engine, but specifically the white wire over here on the edge, because it goes from a gray wire up to this module and then to this white wire, which goes to the on-off switch, and I get it's infinite resistance. So something is keeping it from going down to the coil, because there should be no resistance between the coil and all that good stuff. I can show you that it's infinite right there. All right. So if I go down to the actual switch here, coil, this one's a little tricky with the piece of crap multimeter I got, but down to the middle wire, which is the direct wire to the coil, we're just going to make sure the coil wire isn't shorted out on it, right? You can see we got 0. And then if I go over to the white wire, which goes down to the oil, the module that connects the oil level sensor, if I can get a good note on the tabs here. So you can see there's also no resistance there as well. So I'm thinking that this is bad. I do want to test out the switch real quick. And I think, let me figure out how to test the switch and I'll get right back with you. Alright, let me do my best to show this to you. The switch is in the off position. This red wire grounds out the generator when you turn the switch off. I don't have the best connection to all these, so I'm going to try and keep it as steady as possible. I'm about to turn the switch on. See that? Turn the switch off, you're back down to 0. Open loop when you turn it on. Back down to 0 when you turn it off. So all of my indicators are telling me that this little module is bad, the low oil level sensor. Obviously that's, I just knocked it off, so that's no big deal. Knocked those terminals off. Obviously that is a nice feature to have, however, it is not a 100% necessary as long as you check your oil in your generator. And I don't think it's going to be a make or break for most people to buy. I have a storm, potential winter storm coming here in a couple of days. I would like it out of my garage. I will fully disclose that the low oil level deal is bad. So what I'm going to do is go get my wiring kit from inside the house. We're going to wire these together. All we're going to do is snip the gray wire, snip the white wire, join them together, make sure they have continuity up to the switch and they're not grounding out the generator. I believe that's what's causing my no spark issue. It can't be anything else because the switch is working like it's supposed to. I have continuity everywhere it needs to be, and I'm getting an open loop whenever I excuse me, whenever I have that going on, which means that it's grounding it out somewhere. So we get my wiring kit, wire that bad boy up. Hopefully we'll have a running generator here in about an hour or so. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. That right there is a hard wire. Holy moly. Oh, it doesn't help that I'm snipping down on the side of it. Oh boy. Okay. So now let's do this one. In all honesty, I could just ground this out. No, that wouldn't work, would it? Let me grab some proper cutters. So what that little module does is it basically, I think it tells the oil level sensor, hey, I'm low. Or the oil level sensor tells it, hey, I'm low. Shut me off. And so it does. And then it shuts it off. Alright, so let's get my gray wire. We're just doing what we need to do here. And the white wire. Okay. Gray and white wires. Now, next is joining them together. I know some of y'all are like, this is not the right way to fix it. I know it's not. However, this is not like a safety switch per se. It is just a switch that helps keep everything. It's a dummy switch, if you want to call it that. I feel like I'm blabbing on here. But any person running a small engine, before you use it, should check the oil. That's pretty standard practice. And if you don't check the oil and you blow up your engine, then it should be on you. Shouldn't have any. Yeah, see, we're down to 0 there on the resistance meter. Should be on this one as well. We are. That means there is nothing restricting the spark now when the engine is turned in the on position. Now, if I were to fix this the proper way, it would be by a whole nother module right here. But this, like I said, you should be checking your oil anyways. So I'm going to grab some electrical tape and tape this up, and then I am going to put these 4 bolts back on, connect the coil wire back to the engine, and then we are going to I'll do all that off camera because y'all have already seen all that. We're going to give it a crack, see if it runs. No reason why it shouldn't. It ran great with the coil wire disconnected. I just got to feed it back through here, which may be a chore, but I will do that. They don't really give good access to I'm going to test fit it real quick. They don't really give you good access to all of this, that's for sure. Like they probably should. Oh, I can just totally do that and be fine. Okay, that's no biggie. I'll just pop that back in there. I feel like this went under though for some reason. But I will get this all situated. Yeah, we're going over with it even if it was under. I'll get this all situated, get it all put back together. Nothing that I'm going to do that y'all have not seen yet. And we'll get this thing cranked up. Alright y'all, I think I figured out where this horrible rubbing sound was coming from. I'll make sure it's not coming from anything that's over here. I don't think so. And I just found something else interesting right here that I need to get to. Looks like somebody took off these screws here and put different ones on. You don't see any damage on any of them. You do see a little bit of damage on the screws right here. You can see where it has been penetrating the flywheel just a little bit. So I'm going to take an angle grinder and just grind those screw threads back just a little bit. I will have to take this off. Well, I got to take it off to redo the pull rope anyways, which I probably need to do while I still have this off. Fairly confident it'll run the way that it is, but I don't know the situation that it's going to be getting these nuts off. So I might do the pull, like I said, I might go ahead and do the pull rope while I got it right here. And then the other thing, it looks like the previous owners did attempt to replace the coil on this, because if you see the date, I don't know if you can see the date on this coil. It says 052520, which means it was probably May of 2020. It does look like an OEM replacement, or at least I don't know, it has the part number on it, 046788. So let me get over, mosey over to the bench. I saw my wood for my house there. Probably get over there. I'm just going to go ahead and put the pull rope in it. Y'all see me do pull ropes quite a bit. I'll go ahead and do it real quickly, get it back over here, and we'll go ahead and grind the bolts down too, and we'll go ahead and put it on here. Alright, I'm going to show you this pull rope deal real quick. I have basically pulled the entire rope out, excuse me. I've not pulled it off. You can take these 4 screws out here for this particular Briggs engine. A lot of the generators you can do that with, and the horizontal shafts. I already have the shroud off. I'm just going to do it with the shroud on. I have it pulled out. I have a screwdriver holding it together here. I just pulled it through the fins. I'm going to take my cutters, cut it off. Pull it through. Do not move where that is, if that makes any sense. Don't do anything with your pull rope shroud or anything. This is one of them 2-piece pull handles. I just took my screwdriver and just pried this up. Just gonna take this off. Could pull it through. I'm just gonna cut it off. What I'm going to use is this length rope here. Let me get my rope real quick. So I'm just going to pull this back through. You just keep it the same orientation. It has to go through this little bottom piece before it feeds up into the top piece. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to fit this little bottom piece back on. So make sure you do that. This pull rope was basically ready to pop any second. So what I'm going to do is all I'm going to do, and then I'll show you feeding it back through here. I'm going to take the length of this, basically lay it out on the garage floor, get my pull rope, measure it to that length, maybe just a smidge longer, cut it, and then I'll catch back up with y'all when I feed it back through. Trying to show you as many steps as possible just to get this generator back going. I know most of y'all are probably interested in the no spark condition, but I wanted to show you pull rope replacement as well. Alright, new rope. Should be a pretty easy install here, hopefully, because it's dead straight through. Come on. There we go. As long as you have a good end to your rope, shouldn't have any issue putting it back in. So I just don't have a lot of room with my wood here for the house. As of the time of making this video, I am almost done with the house, which is great. Kind of here mid-December, a little bit before Christmas. What I like to do is do 2 knot. Extra insurance is what I like to say. Right? Just like this, just pull them around that there, tuck it in there, and we'll put this, we'll do the top piece here. Excuse me. I have to cut that off to get it through. So you got a little frilled end here. You can either spin it or cut it off. Probably won't cut it off. Of course, my cutters aren't nearby. Maybe I can just shove it through there like it is. Yeah, we'll just shove the... If I can get it through there. There we go. Okay. That's obviously not very glamorous. But we'll get it through here as well. Now it's time to cut. Let me grab the cutters. Like I said, I do cut it a couple inches longer, just to accommodate for well, I thought wire strippers would do it, but obviously they're not. One second, guys, sorry. Cut it a couple inches longer just for cases like this, if you have a frayed end or whatever you need to cut off. Get the legit cutters. That's not perfect, but that'll do. I thought it would. Just making me look like an amateur here. Guess I am in a way. Couldn't burn the end. Goodness gracious. I'm going to burn the end of it or something here. And we'll get it in there. I don't want to cut off too much more because then we'll be getting a little bit shorter. How can one end be so perfect and the other not? See if I can push it up through there with a screwdriver. No. Alright, let me get this other end here and we'll get the pull rope. And all you do after that is just wind the pull rope back and you're good to go. Alright, redeem myself here. You burn the end of it, kind of do it like that so that you can kind of sharpen it if you keep getting frayed ends like that. And we're good now, thankfully. I always double knot it. Again, extra insurance. Okay, like I said, I've already fed that through, and now I'm bringing it back to the top here, and we are putting it in here. There's a tight fit with the double knot, however, we are going to get it in there. There we go. We can release my screwdriver, and the recoil will come back now. Ta-da! So we're in good shape. Got a good range of motion with the recoil, and I'll throw all these little frayed areas away, and I'll put that shroud back on. Let's give this thing a shot, see if it'll crank. Alright, I have everything back on. Before I put everything back on, that doesn't make any sense at all, does it? Everything else, I mean the gas tank. I'm going to pull this pull rope. You'll hear that there's no more like scraping sound whenever you try and pull it. Alright, so before I put the gas tank on, and really test this out, I want to make sure that everything is working like it's supposed to. So the first thing I'm going to do is spray into the carb throat with the switch on and see if it'll fire for us. Alright, that tells me that it's working like it should, the switch is, and that the module that we bypassed was the issue. So let me put everything back on and we'll continue from there. Alrighty, y'all, it's time to pull this thing out. So I put a little gas in it, check the oil. The oil is full. It actually left a little puddle. I think you can see right there. So you want to see it kind of at the very top of these fill caps on these Briggs. Let me show you real quick. So it was trickling out the fill cap. I had it on level ground. The oil is clean. Like I said, this generator I don't know if has ever seen any hours on it. I do need to fill the tires up, but that's it. Let's crank it up. I've already put air filter cover and all that stuff on too, so I'm pretty confident that we're fixed here. Let's see what the output is. These are sucky, but it said 264 on it. Next step, let's plug in something. You'll hear it change tune, hopefully. You hear that? Oh yeah. This is about 1500 watts, so alright, I think that's enough. Turn the switch off. And there it is. So the only thing that this thing does not have now is a low oil sensor. Not the end of the world. I will inform the new buyer that it does not have one. I know they put them on here because they're run for long durations and not supervised. But I'm sure whoever buys this is just going to have it sitting in their garage waiting for the next storm to come, most likely. Nice generator. I'll have to see what they're running around here. with the potential of a winter storm coming here in a couple of days, which is hard to believe because it's 70 and it's nice out today. Probably will sell pretty quick. Got to take advantage of when storms are coming to get your generators out, otherwise you're going to have a hard time getting them out. Anyways, I'll give you one last look around. We'll wrap this video up. Y'all saw it run. Y'all saw everything work on it properly. You have a little bit of cracked gas cap plastic up here on the top. That's pretty typical of the ones that have the gas level on them. No leaks from what I can tell. The smoke has stopped. It's run for, I might let it run for a few more minutes just to make sure that the carb is cycling through. I will put the put this clamp back on correctly as well. But that's your 5550 Troy Bilt generator with the 10 horsepower Briggs. What we did to it was put a pull rope on it, but more importantly, we diagnosed and figured out a no spark condition, which led to the little module that controls the low oil level sensor. So, thank y'all for watching. I hope this video helped you. I know it's a little bit of a long video. However, I'll try and show you everything, my whole diagnosing process, fixing process, and stuff like that. If you wanted to really fix this properly, you would just buy a new low oil level sensor. But if you just want to fix it for free, basically bypass it, your switch still works. It won't shut off if you have low oil, which you should be checking anyways. This one's not burning oil, it's slammed full. So yeah, thank you again. I also want to thank Mowers real quick. He sent me a nice package of a couple of stickers, got a bottle opener and a keychain. Thank you, Mick. If you do not follow him on YouTube and you follow me, then that's a problem. He's over at Mowers on YouTube, across the pond in the United Kingdom. Does some great work. Does live streams every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I believe it would be 6:30 p.m. London time on Saturdays. Great live stream, great conversation. Great guy all around. He is kind of the head of the small engine crew that we are a part of. So we thank you, Mick, for kind of heading that up for us. Adding to the wall, if you want to add some stickers to my cabinet, feel free to reach out to me at Ellis Mowers 09 on Instagram and Facebook, or right here on YouTube. I'll get you the information that you need. Hopefully we'll get this cabinet full here before long. And also one other thing, if y'all notice that I am in shorts and t-shirts here for the next couple months on these new videos, it's because I've been working hard on the house, and most of those videos, like I said, I filmed a bunch of stuff in the summertime, and I'm just letting it play out through the winter while I'm working on the house. I'll be getting back in the garage, working on all this good stuff here before long, which you'll see coming up in the spring. Should be here before we know it. But for now, got a good generator, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you as always for watching, and see you next time.